Do you think it's problematic that actors don't have access to those? Because, like, I see both ways, right? Like, there has to be some sort of modicum of a gate there in the sense that not everybody should be able to access them. But at the same time, there's a lot of, like, normal actors or even, like, actors that work on a regular cadence that it would be beneficial for them to be able to see that. I personally... I'm going to just be honest. I've had access to them in the past.
I have friends
that's dried up. Oh, really? Still? Oh, I felt like it dried up. I thought it was one assistant was leaking them like 5 years ago because I had like 4 or 5 sources and then they all dried up at the same time. I was like, this guy went to jail. But I found it very useful because I was seeing what was out there and what was that helps for my psychosis. God, I'm not talking good today. It worked. Maybe I do have psychosis. It worked well for my psychosis in the sense that, they're not casting anything like me in the last like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It makes sense why I'm not getting auditions. But at the same time, I used it to see people I knew, friends, comedians, whatever, that were working on shows, and I used it to reach out to them to ask for an audition. And I got a lot of auditions doing that. And so I wish I had access to them, and I don't fully understand why they don't make it available to certain sectors of people. Thoughts?
I don't know the real answer to it. I do think
maybe this isn't a casting question.
Yeah, there is more of an element, I think, and this is a conversation of how strong your relationship is with your representation.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're in good hands, you feel like that you're being represented accordingly, then usually it's not a concern. I feel generally, but if you don't, then you start. Because I had a friend who had the login to it, whatever it was, and
I didn't have a login. I got
I don't know how
PDF
he does it.
Versions that were like 2 days late.
I don't know how he does it, but I know that he had access to it at some point, and he would do it when he would not get submitted or get called in for something. He would send the rep. Saying like, I know Jessica Sherman personally. Like, it would be great if you would submit me for this because I think I would get it.
Right.
So it would sort of enhance the process. But I think there is an element where they don't want everybody submitting to everything because you are a very rational human, and you've been.
That, but you would think they would have a version of it.
Wasn't that what Actors Access is?
Yes, but that's.
Very
have you
limited.
seen what I get?
I know, it's very limited.
It's like a short film for $37 and maybe lunch if they have enough
coffee
leftovers.
Credit meal.
Yeah. So worse than that. Oh. So like that, what I get thrown out at the end is not great. But for me, it's like there's no way my agents and managers know every single person I know, right? And I don't know every single person I know what they're working on.
Yeah.
So like for me, it was just like scanning for names that I knew and then just emailing them directly and saying, can I audition? And it worked.
Yeah.
And I think there should be some sort of amount of like, okay, you're in SAG, check. You've done this thing, check. You've done this. And then you get like an abbreviated version of it or something.
You know why that doesn't exist? Because your reps don't want it to. And they pay for Breakdown Express on top of you.
Why would they not want you to though?
They don't want you to have oversight.
Sure. But it's not up to them though. That's the thing. Like nobody trusts anybody. Like it's not up to like
let me give you an example.
But I can assume they're submitting me. It's not guaranteeing me an audition.
I know, but that's like a very specific situation. But an example is on Breakdown Express specifically, we have most of us had a feature called Actor Search, right? Mm-hmm. So they have separated our accounts into 2 different accounts. There's like an X account and a Z account. Like if you're a senior casting director or a legacy casting director, you have a Z account.
Right.
And the X is for the younger generation that doesn't have as many resources.
Yes.
And they won't give
So they're doing it but the wrong way.
Yeah, but they won't give they will not give all casting directors that Actor Search tool.
This is what I'm saying. They're doing it. They're using it to the negative. They're using it the dark way.
Yeah, but you know why they won't give it to us is they say that they've gotten complaints from agents and managers that I will never understand this mindset, but this is apparently what happened, that agents and managers were complaining that casting directors were calling in actors they didn't submit. And in my head, I'm like, why is that a problem? It's not like we're sending it directly to the actor.
Why is that a problem?
I don't know. I don't understand it. But that's where the problem lies. It's the relationship between the owners of these different platforms and the reps.
Yeah, this goes back to this weird spiral. Everyone's overcrossed everybody, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's maddening.